my life, removing pain. Lord, let my words heal a heart that hurts. I want to spend my life mending broken people. I want to spend my life mending broken people.
Hello, and welcome to our 3ABN Today cooking program. We are
The Micheff Sisters.
I'm Linda.
I'm Brenda.
And I'm Cinda. And we are so excited that you're with us today.
Yes, we are.
Because,
have a
oh, wait a
special
minute,
program.
folks. It's a wrap.
That's right. That's today's program.
That's the program.
It's a wrap.
That's what we say when we're all finished with the program. So the crew, please stay.
Yeah,
please
don't go
stay,
anywhere,
crew.
everybody.
Don't go anywhere, camera people.
But that's not the kind of wraps we're talking about. We're talking about, well, should we just show them?
I think let's show them.
Let's show you the wraps we're talking about, which we are going to fix on the program today.
We're starting with my Latin lettuce wraps.
Oh, those look so good. And I love the colorful. They're so nice and colorful. And I like the, was that a sweet potato in there?
It is.
Ooh, that looks good. And then we've got my Moroccan Eggplant Wrap. And I love the flavors going on there with those chickpeas and little Moroccan
We
things.
can't wait to taste that.
Spicy Sloppy Joe wraps.
Oh, I love Sloppy Joe. Oh, and Samosa Wrap.
Oh, I love samosas, and you can't go wrong with samosas. You know there's potatoes in those. And the Thai Veggie Wrap. Oh, and it's got a really little bit of spicy peanut sauce in there. I think you'll enjoy.
And we're going to end it with a hot mixed potato wrap.
Oh, now, what an awesome
Awesome.
way to end it.
Exactly.
Hot and spicy and potatoes. Thanks. That's awesome. I can't wait to taste that.
Well, if you've watched our programs for any length of time at all, you know we really love potatoes. I love sweet potatoes, and I like
and we
regular
love hot and
potatoes.
spicy.
Yes, we do, I have to say. And it's not for everybody, so any of our recipes that have the hot and spicy, don't worry about it. You don't have to put that in yours, okay?
That's
So
why we love Sister Linda so much. She's spicy.
I know. Actually, I just came back from when I came back from Alaska, and I had somebody up there. Every time I'd turn a corner, they'd say, "Is your spicy sister here? Is your spicy sister here?" And they're talking about her. Sorry to disappoint you. You just got me.
Sometimes I surprise them and get spicy.
See, that's what I'm saying. You know, I said that for a reason. She's sometimes, you know, she doesn't always show you her spicy side, but it comes out every once in a while, huh?
Yeah,
I mean,
that
this is
flavor's
one
in there somewhere.
jalapeno right here.
Well, listen, your first recipe is
My Latin lettuce wraps. Let me read the recipe for you. For this, you will need 1 head of lettuce, and that can be your choice, a butter lettuce, a romaine lettuce, or an iceberg, 8 corn tortillas, 1 cup of avocado diced, 1 cup of tomato diced, 4 cups of sweet potatoes cut into small cubes, 1 tablespoon of oil, 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon of cumin, 1/2 teaspoon of hot paprika, 1 teaspoon or so to salt to taste. And then for the black bean mixture, you will need 1 tablespoon of oil, 1 cup of onion diced, 1 15-ounce can of black beans rinsed and drained, 1 clove of garlic minced, 1/2 teaspoon of cumin, and salt to taste.
I saw those potatoes in there, and I love sweet potatoes.
Yeah, I do too. So I'm going to get started. There's several steps to this recipe, but it's very easy, and you can make this ahead of, like a couple days ahead of time, and that way it's ready to eat for a quick lunch or dinner if you want. So in pure Micheff sister style, we've already had our onions cooking, and they're cooked to clear.
And they are done and ready.
So they're ready. So sis, if you want to add the red pepper.
If you're joining us for the first time, that means that my sisters and I really don't care for raw onions. So that's what the message was there, that those onions are done and cooked and clear.
Add your cumin, and then let that saute and stir. Oh, can you add some fresh garlic too?
Okay.
And let that stir and simmer just a little bit.
Saute
Actually,
just a
let
little
that saute, not stir, because I've
Yeah.
never seen a vegetable stir by itself. But you never know. She's, you know, she might be a little spicy today, and just, you know, let it.
Seems like the flavors are more fragrant when they're done in the, you know.
When you heat them in the pan.
they are.
Pan.
You want to add some fresh garlic for me?
Okay, let me see if I can
And
do
our
this.
handy dandy, awesome garlic press that sister.
I can put this whole thing in there?
Brenda found in.
Yep, the whole thing.
Just
Well,
like that?
well, let's take the skin off now.
Normally you don't have to take the skin off.
You don't have to take the skin off unless you
Drop it on the floor.
Drop it on the floor, and then we don't want those germs, so we're going to take that skin off.
That's enough, though. You got that covered.
All right, I'm going to cut it in half for you, sis. There you go.
Oh, thank you.
There you go.
That was it really was a big clove of garlic. So
Oh, yeah, she's covering for me. All right, now it's this way?
Yep. And squeeze. Good job.
And then you can, yep. Look at it, just comes right out there like
Here,
that.
I'll help her.
It's not really that hard, but
Okay, there you go, and
Yeah.
just scrape that off. Okay, while she's doing that, I'm going to show you how to cut our sweet potato. So I cut the ends off. Now this
You're
has been
keeping the peeling.
I'm keeping the peeling. I love the peeling of a sweet potato, and so I'm keeping the peeling. And so I'm going to cut it in small cubes.
I think, you know, we were so poor growing up that we didn't waste anything, and we ate our potato skins, and that included sweet potato skins as well. And actually, it's one of my favorite parts of the potato.
I love it.
I'll be sitting with somebody, and I see them not eating that skin, and I go, you aren't going to waste that skin on you.
Can I have that? Okay. So you're just going to cut it in small cubes, like that.
Okay.
Okay. And then I'm going to put it in the bowl.
All right.
And I'll keep cutting, sis. And I want what we're going to do is I'm just going to cut. I just want to show you what I do with this.
You want me to spray a pan over there?
We need to. Yes. Can you get a cookie
Well,
sheet?
Linda's got it covered.
Oh wow.
She's got it taken care of.
Multitasker.
Yes.
She can.
Oh, here, the spray.
Okay. So.
maybe that one's for the...
See how fast that goes? And you know, there's so many nutrients in the skin of the potato that I love to leave it on. And I think it adds flavor too and texture, so I like
does.
it.
Okay.
And
So are we putting anything
okay, so
else in
now, sis, what I want you to do
Okay.
is I'm going to finish this one, but I want you to add here. Let me set this down for a sec.
Okay.
I want you to add a little bit of oil,
Okay.
and then all your spices.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
So and
Anything
then
I add here?
you can add your black beans now.
Okay.
And then just do a little small sprinkling of salt.
Okay.
It's salt to taste.
Okay.
There you
Love
go.
that. Love that smell of cumin.
Oh, I know it. Okay, so add your
smells good.
spices, and what you're going to do is toss that.
Okay, and then put it on the pan to.
Yes, and
roast?
and then you're
Okay.
going to, so what you'll do is she's going to toss that, spread it out on our pan, and then you're going to put this in a 425 degree oven for about 20 minutes, and just kind of stir it or flip it halfway in between, and till it looks like this.
Okay.
Okay?
It shrinks.
It's, you know, that's why, yeah, you don't, and you want it little like this, okay? So you're gonna, so it'll be, this has already been roasted and done. So we'll set that aside. Now you're gonna take some corn tortillas, and about 8 usually does it. I'm not gonna count them because it doesn't really matter, okay? And you're gonna cut these in little strips, and I'm gonna go like that. So I'm cutting them in those little strips, and then I'm gonna cut them in tiny strips. See, like this.
That's
And
pretty cool.
And then you're going to take these and put them on a cookie sheet, which I already have an extremely healthy, helpful sister who's already.
She's healthy too.
Yeah, she's.
I'm sure.
Just thought I'd add that.
Anything I don't know about?
Okay, so see these little strips? And then I'm just going to sprinkle them on the cookie sheet like this. And where's our spray, sis?
Right here.
Spray them real good. And then you're going to take just a sprinkling of salt and sprinkle them with a little bit of salt. Now you're going to put this, and this can be done a day or two ahead of time too, even 3 or 4 days ahead of time. And then you're going to put this in a 325-degree oven, and you're going to bake them until they're a little crispy and brown. And here's what they look like. All done. They're just really crispy and toasty. And that's going to be, you'll see, that's going to be our garnish. Okay? So, sis, we're going to add our sweet potatoes that have already been roasted.
Okay.
And, sis, Brenda, if you can, I need some avocado diced up.
Okay.
So if you can dice me some avocado. And I don't know if you want this knife or that knife. Sometimes it's...
Actually, I kind of do this when I do dice. I go through like that, and like that, and like that. And you want them that big?
Yep, perfect.
Okay.
Good job. Okay, so we'll assemble one for you.
Can I turn this off now?
Yes, ma'am, thank you. So now you're going to take...
Easy that comes out of there like that?
Perfect. Thank you. So now you're going to take I chose the leaf lettuce because I think it wraps easy. All you do is you put some in here like this, as much as you think it can handle. Put on some avocado. Put on some diced tomato. Now, I would add some jalapenos to this, and I know that you would, and I know that you would too.
That's right.
But I didn't put them out here.
I tell you what, I think that looks as pretty as your sample.
And that's your lettuce wrap. And then you just roll it up. And, whoops, you don't
And then
do that.
take a bite.
Okay, there you go. I can show you. Now, before you pick it up, you should have, or I should have, tucked this in like this. And then you pick it up, and then just eat it. That's it.
And look, we have one right there decorated so beautifully, but I think it's every bit as pretty as what you just did.
Oh, thank you. Well, you know something else that's going to be delicious.
The Moroccan Eggplant Wrap. For this, you will need 1 large zucchini, 1 large eggplant, 1 large onion, 1 cup of grape tomatoes, 4 cloves of garlic, 1/4 teaspoon of oregano, and you will also need 1/2 teaspoon of salt or to taste, 1/2 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, 1 teaspoon of parsley, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, 1 16-ounce can of garbanzo beans, and 4 whole wheat tortillas. I love this recipe not only because it tastes good, but because it's so easy to make. And you can actually make it up several days ahead of time, and you can have it for lunches, you can have it for suppers, picnics, or you can even have it for hors d'oeuvres, you know, to serve with crackers. It's
So you can eat at room temperature.
Yes, room temperature. You can eat it hot, you can eat it cold. I like it all those ways. So what we're going to start with is, Linda, if you would spray this pan, we're going to roast our vegetables. And this is how easy it is. While our vegetables are roasting in the oven, we will marinate our garbanzo beans and set those aside. So what we're doing is just marinating them in straight lemon juice. So sis, you can marinate the beans right there.
All right.
All right. And while we're doing that, I'm going to just show you how I'm just going to cube up the eggplant. I cut off both of the ends, and I'll give those to Linda because she's closest. And we do have, Mom, just in case you're watching, I just wanted you to know we do have a trash can down here, yeah. And so we're not throwing anything on the floor, right, sister? So my mom taught us to be clean and neat in the kitchen, so I just wanted her to know. Somebody thought we were dumping stuff down here and wanted to know if my mom knew about it. So I just thought I'd mention it on this program so you'd know.
Yeah, that's true. Mom taught us that you clean up as you cook.
That's right. Okay, while you're doing that, Cinda has got a zucchini over here, and you're going to cut the ends off of those zucchinis and quarter them for me. And after we get our eggplant in here, you can sprinkle those on top. So
Mom taught us to be clean. Dad taught us to have fun. Stand back. Well, I am so good. Score!
Well, yeah, she did good with one of them.
Do you have to tell everything you know?
No,
I was right. I got one score.
she did. She got one.
Okay, so now I'm just going to do like this. And Linda, as soon as I get some corded here, I'm going to have you put them in that. I'm going to do this like this real quick because I'm just going to, because these shrink down. Eggplant shrinks down after
It does.
after it bakes.
But you
so-
know what? All the vegetables shrink down after when you're roasting them.
They do.
So
They do.
I like to cut them a little bit bigger.
but
do you
I-
want this? Do you want mixed all these vegetables? Do you want me to put this on the pan?
And on top of the eggplant once we get the eggplant in.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and Linda, the garlic, you can just put on one corner of the pan. I just put it in one in each of the corners because I don't want to, I want to be able to identify them later, so I hug the corner with them, and then when I take it out, I can take the garlic out first, and then I can mash it accordingly, because after it's roasted, you're going to mash that garlic to mix in. And I don't want to miss doing that, so if I mix it in with everything else, I'd be searching everywhere for that garlic once it's roasted. So here it
Oh,
goes, sis.
garlic, where are you?
Here, sis.
Searching like that?
Well, I wasn't exactly what I had in mind. So, oops.
I love
Okay.
roasted eggplant. I love the flavor. It just, the roasting intensifies the flavor, and I just really love it.
I do too. Let me get this one.
I mean, there's so many,
Okay.
so many ways you can season it. And
Yeah, an eggplant, it's really good for you.
Well,
All vegetables. God made so many fruits and vegetables of so many different colors that if you just color your plate like a rainbow,
here it comes, folks. Here it
you
comes.
will have good nutrition. Think of all the different colors and have a little bit, have a variety of colors and a different textures, and then you know that you are getting good nutrition at your meal.
she is right. I've
It's
been
not
telling
really that hard. You don't have to worry, oh dear, I wonder if this has this in it or that vitamin C or whatever, or vitamin B. But you know what? If you use the different textures, different colors, you will get a good nutrition.
That's
God
right.
God doesn't make things hard for us. He really did make it
No,
easy.
yeah.
We give Linda a hard time about this, but I spent a month in Australia and New Zealand, and when I was speaking in Melbourne, Australia, I had this lady come up to me and she said, would you please tell your sister, and I totally forgot to do it until just now, she said, would you please tell your sister that I really appreciated her making it so simple for me to provide nutrition for my family. I want you to tell her I've been coloring our plates like a rainbow, and I now have so much more peace that our family's getting good
Praise the
nutrition.
Lord.
It changed. She said, now when I'm planning the meal, I think, okay, we've got red, we've got green, we've got this, and she goes, I tell her I'm doing it. She said, tell her. So
But you know what? When
Our
David-
God is amazing to make all those wonderful colors for us. And
Oh,
he did it
yeah.
for a reason, not just because it's beautiful, because he knew it would be good for us. And if we put those combinations
That's right.
together.
That's right.
So-
You know,
Okay, sis,
when David was little,
have at it.
I always taught my kids that too. And when David was in 5th grade even, he went on a overnight outing with his class to a nature camp.
1 second.
And
We're just going to, while she's finishing the story, just 1 second, we're going to just have some slivered onions on top. Go for it, sis.
And he went, they had a cafeteria line at the nature camp that he went to, and this
Now tomatoes.
and
Now
he
tomatoes.
was standing in the line for a long time, and he put stuff on his plate, and the teacher came up to him. She goes, David, it's time, don't you want to sit down and eat? And David said, looked at his plate and looked at his teacher, and he goes, there's white and yellow. There's no green. There's no orange. He said,
No red.
and no red. And she looked at him and he said, where's the other stuff? This isn't healthy.
See, they
True
learn.
story. I mean,
okay, now all the seasonings go on. First, before we do that, can you spray the top of this with just a nonstick cooking spray all over it, real nice. And then also, if you spray it first, then your seasonings will stick to it a little bit better. So sis, salt over everything. Isn't she good at this, Cinda? I'm telling you what, she is
She's
just
a pro.
She's a pro. Okay,
Right.
then we got our parsley in there, and then we have, just put the rest of your seasonings. And this is optional, is the red pepper flakes, but I think it adds just a little bit. For this amount of vegetables, it's not spicy really at all, so just a few of those red pepper flakes on there. That's going to bake at 400 degrees for about 35-40 minutes until it's really nice and tender and done, and the edges will be golden a little bit. Bring it out and put it in a bowl. Now your
Do you mix? That's when you mix the garbanzos in?
chickpeas that we're marinating in the lemon juice. Now you just add those. These are already seasoned. You're going to add that to your garbanzo mix, and that's it. That's all there is to it. You're going to take a wrap, and can you get one out, sis? And then here's your dish right here. Here's one that's already done, and you can do it. You can wrap it, roll it. You can put it in the middle like this, and go on the side and just tuck it in. Boom, 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 and you've got yourself a wrap.
That's
And
a wrap.
A wrap. And our next wrap is Linda's Sloppy Joe wrap.
Oh.
You know, I love that, sis. Why don't you read the recipe?
All right. For that, you will need 1 cup of water, 1 cup of celery diced fine, 1 cup of green onions sliced, 1 cup of mixed yellow, red, and orange peppers, 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, 1½ cups of ketchup, 1/2 cup of water, and you will need 1/4 cup of Bragg's liquid aminos, 1 12-ounce package of Eve's Veggie Ground, 8 tablespoons of grapeseed veggies, and that's just optional, and then 8 wraps. Now for the Sloppy Joe wrap, if you don't like peppers, you don't need to put them in. I put 3 different colors in because I love
Color in the plate
colors.
like a rainbow.
That's right. You get your colors in.
Hey, she practices what she preaches.
I try to. I really do. I'm going to put water in. I'm using that instead of oil. And I'm going to saute the celery.
Okay.
And I better give this to you.
Okay.
And then I've got the peppers.
All right.
And I have the onions. And so I'll just...
And those are green onions, right?
These are green onions. And then I'm going to put the Bragg's liquid aminos in there.
Okay.
And that, because I like to do it right then, and that really is just a substitute for soy sauce. Because it's not fermented.
Right.
So it's just a, and I'm gonna,
But
you
it has
can
a
leave
good
these
flavor.
out. This is what makes the spicy one, is just a little teeny bit of the red pepper flakes. If you don't like them, just leave it out.
Oh, bunch.
And now you just let that simmer.
Okay.
And
Do you cover it all while it simmers?
no, you
No,
don't have
just
to,
like
but
it?
you can. Sis, could you tell them a little bit about this product? Because
Yes.
we love this product.
This is called Eve's Veggie Ground, and
Eve, like the name Adam and Eve?
it's pronounced like
Okay.
Adam and Eve.
It looks like
Eve.
Ives, but it's
Yes.
not.
I actually had somebody. I was calling it Ives for a long time, and someone corrected me. I won't say how embarrassing it was. Who corrected me? But somebody actually knew how to say
I'll
that
just
name.
tell you it was someone from the company. high
Someone
up in the
important.
company.
They said they love the fact that we use their products so much, and they really hated to just, ask me this, since they really, we've been promoting the product because we love it. And I says, but if it's not too much trouble, instead of Ives, maybe you could say Eves. It's like, oh, okay.
And if you live in the United States, I don't know anywhere else, but you can find this product in Walmart.
That's right, Walmart, grocery stores.
All over.
Yeah, all over now.
Widely distributed.
Yeah,
And in
it's
health
not
food
hard to
stores,
find.
It's not hard to find now, yeah. And you can go to their website, just Google it.
Or
YBES.
suggest it to your local grocery store. And I have done that with different items, and they've ordered it for me.
Sure.
Low in calories, low in fat, and high in flavor.
Exactly. So, and the thing that I love a lot about the Eve's Burger is that it has a hamburger-like texture without any flavor at all to it. So many of your products, they have a strong flavor to it, and then you have to mask that flavor to, have it take on what you really want it to taste
That's
like for
right.
your old dish. Well, this doesn't do that. It gives you the nutrition and the product, so it has the texture of the hamburger without any kind of flavor, and that way it takes on whatever flavor you give it. And I'm not fighting a flavor, and I love that about it.
I used it, this product, to make in chili. And I had somebody come over that ate meat. They did not do vegetarian. And they ate the chili, and they said, wow, this is really good chili, but I thought you guys didn't eat pork. I was like, we don't eat pork. I didn't get it to him, show him the package and everything, and he's like, this is not pork? I said, no, this is not pork. And so for whatever, so it is really a good product. I mean, because it fooled him, and he says, well, I like this.
Well, I had fixed meat for my husband for years, because when we got married, he did not think it was a meal unless there was meat at every meal. And so I would fix for me and the girls, I would fix for him, and so I fixed meat for him. I know how to fix, meat for my husband, because being a good wife does not include nagging. So I don't believe in nagging your husband, or, love me, do everything I want you to do. So, he's an individual, and it's his choice and decision. But about 8 years ago now, he made the choice to be vegetarian. And it was, whew, I'm getting essence of onion right over here. I'm just ready to swoosh right over there. I have Linda sitting over here.
You
right
can get
there.
a steam
Go, you
facial.
get that.
You can get a steam facial.
I want her to experience the full essence of her dish right there. It's a lot of steam coming up. But anyway, one of his dishes that he loved the most was hamburger meatloaf. And so when he told me, he said, I'm not going to eat meat anymore. And so I said, oh, okay, that's wonderful. I'm so glad for that. About 2 weeks went by, and he comes home, and I have a dish, his favorite hamburger meatloaf on the table. And he's like, he comes in and smells it. Oh, you shouldn't have done that. I was serious. I'm not going to eat meat again. Now I can't. I said, honey, one more time's not going to matter. And he's, just savoring everything. He said, but I mean, after this one, no more. I'm serious. I'm not eating any more meat. I said, okay, honey, no more. So then he's even sandwiches several days later. He's savoring every last one. He's eating his last hamburger meatloaf sandwich. And then he goes, oh, okay. He says, I'm just savoring this last bite. And I says, well, honey, you can have that again. He goes, no, I'm serious. And I said, well, actually, honey, there hasn't been real hamburger in that meatloaf for years. He goes, what? I was like, yeah, he said, you didn't tell me? And I said, oh, no. He said, but everybody asked for your recipe. I said, yeah, now I always tell them, don't tell Tim. I said, I did not want him to be eating it and think that, he was then in mindset, oh, well, I don't like it, Well,
I am putting the ketchup in this. Vegetables aren't quite done, but I like to saute this a little bit longer. We're going to put our vegetarian hamburger in.
Okay.
And stir that around. And
This is like a vegetable sloppy joe, huh?
Yeah, it is. But I call it spicy sloppy joe.
Yeah.
And so it's just going to simmer. I'll turn it down, let it simmer. When it's done, I'll take a wrap like I have here, and I will put some in the middle and roll it up, and we have some right there for you to see.
All ready for you, right there. That looks absolutely delicious. And You know what else
We
is
know,
delicious?
in staying with the spicy theme,
Yes.
I'm going to show you how to make samosa wraps. So let me read the recipe. For this you will need 4 cups of small potatoes boiled until tender and firm, 1 14-ounce package of water-packed tofu that has been frozen for 24 hours, and 1 medium onion diced, 1 tablespoon of oil, 2 cups of frozen petite peas, 1 cup of fresh tomato diced, 1/2 teaspoon of ground ginger, 2 tablespoons of fresh jalapeno finely diced, 1/2 cup to 3/4 cup of water, and salt to taste. 3½ teaspoons of curry powder, 1/2 teaspoon of ground coriander, 1 teaspoon of ground cumin, 1/8 teaspoon or to taste of cayenne pepper, 1 tablespoon of fresh lemon juice, and 7 large whole wheat tortillas.
I love samosas. One of the I love Indian food, and one of the things that I love about going to an Indian restaurant is pakoras, samosas, and papadums.
Well, you know what? I also love samosas. Of course, it's got potatoes and spice. But what I really like about this is you don't have the deep fry.
Yes, that's true.
And so it's going to be healthier for you. So Linda's already got the onions already cooked till clear. So add the jalapenos, and let's add the tomatoes. And I'm going to add the tofu to stir fry with that. Now the tofu, I took a water-packed tofu and froze it. And then I thawed it out, squeeze all the liquid out. You just take it and just squeeze it with your hand and squeeze all the liquid out. And honestly, this takes on a totally different...
What do you do with that?
Squeeze it out.
Whoops, I can ask for that one.
Did you want us to do that again?
No, I'm good. I'm good. I think it's all clear. Coming back to me now.
It takes on a totally different consistency. It kind of feels like a sponge.
Yeah,
you know?
It has more of a chicken-like texture when you're eating it.
Well, I never had chicken, but it has a totally different texture. And so I'm going to cube it, and we're going to saute it. So you might want to turn your heat up a little bit, sis, because I want this to brown just a little bit. And I'm going to cube it. What?
Put some of that spray in the pan?
Yes, spray a little bit more, so because I do want it to brown a little bit.
This one.
Oh no! That's for something else.
All right.
There you go. We're gonna spray it. There you go. And you can spray the tops of that again too if you'd like. And you want to brown that a little bit, and we're going to add all our seasonings. There you go. And you're going to start smelling some awesome fragrance.
I was just going to say, it's smelling good. Whew.
And if you like it spicier like we do, you can add more of the
There you go.
of it.
Lemon juice
yes.
in there.
And now, something I did not put in the recipe that I like to do sometimes I put salt to taste. So if you want a little bit more salt, you want that flavor, I like to use the Veggie Cell. And it's actually, I keep saying Veggie Cell, and if you, at the very top, it says Veggie Cell. And so but it's by Spike. And they also have a spicy version of this.
There you go.
And they have a spicy version of this, and they have the regular version. And I see it says Veggie Cell right here, and I love this. It's just
by the way,
all-purpose vegetable seasoning. So
we don't get any money from any of these things that we're
Nope,
showing
we
you.
don't.
We like to pass on good tips to you. If we see something that we like and we enjoy and we think would really enhance your dishes, we like to just pass that on to you rather than you spend time searching for that perfect thing.
exactly.
So that's what that's about.
Now these potatoes, I leave the peelings on the potatoes because it's
'Cause we
extra
love them.
nutrition. We love them.
And you got that fiber. So
Right. And so And I've never had anybody say, ew, the peelings are on. They don't even notice. They like it. So these have already been cooked and then diced real small. We're going to add that to it. And then, Brenda, you got some water over there? Let's add some water to it.
Okay.
And then you're going to let that simmer.
You want these in there?
And we add the peas. Thank you. I forgot about those. Add the peas to it. And now you're going to let that cook until the water absorbs. And this is what it will look like when you're finished. See how it just takes on that deep
Now here's your
color?
Here's your tortilla.
Now here's the tortilla.
And yes, we washed the countertop, I promise.
Sis, if you can spray that pan for me. Now you can do this one at a time on the skillet, or you can make a whole bunch of them, put them on a cookie sheet. Let me show you how I wrap them.
See, she folded in both ends.
I fold both ends in. I kind of tuck the corners in, almost like you're wrapping a package, and fold it over. Tuck these corners in a little bit. Fold it over like this. And then I'm going to put it in a skillet. You crank the heat up. Mash it down just a little bit.
I think I cranked
And I'm going to brown both sides.
Just till it's nice and golden.
Just till it's nice and golden. And you can also do this, like I said, in the oven. You can spray your baking sheet with the non-stick baking spray, and then make a whole bunch of these up. Line them on your cookie sheet. Put them in watch them. Put them in a 350-degree oven for maybe 10 minutes, and then turn it over, put it in for another 5 minutes, or it might even take less, depending on your oven. And they're golden brown, and it's just nice and crunchy. So it kind of gives you the texture of a fried, but obviously you don't have the fat.
We'll be honest, anything fried is good to the taste. We all love fried things, but it's not good for us. So when we can cut the corners and have that same kind of experience in a healthier way, that's important.
But don't get us wrong, a little bit of oil is good for you. I mean, you need a little bit, but
deep
just
frying
not
is not a little bit.
Yeah. Well, she's
right
right about that one.
Well, look, we have some right here that are prepared, ready for you already. Look at that. And she just cut it a diagonal. You can see inside.
So you can see the inside.
Doesn't that look amazing? That's wonderful. I think what we have next is our
Thai veggie wrap.
Thai veggie wrap. Let me read the recipe. For this, you will need 1 package of frozen extra firm tofu, 2 teaspoons of blackened seasoning, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of cucumbers, 1 cup of carrots, 1 medium avocado, 1 cup of romaine lettuce, and for the peanut sauce, you'll need 1/2 cup of crunchy peanut butter, 1/4 cup of sparkling apple juice, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, 2 tablespoons of tamari sauce, 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne, 2 teaspoons of agave nectar, and 4 whole wheat tortilla wraps. I love Thai food, and
I
do too. I love peanuts, and the peanuts go really, and Thai goes all, together. And this is one of those quick and easy recipes too. I love those kind. There's times that I do like to just putz in the kitchen and have a longer recipe and just have fun doing that.
But in this fast-paced world, we don't have the time.
And so this is, I have the same thing that Cinda just showed you about tofu that's been frozen. And can you throw that for me, please?
Drained and squeezed.
Drained and squeezed.
Did you want me to squeeze that again just to be sure?
No, I think I'm good with that.
Because I'm there for you.
Do you want me to test it on you?
Sure, I don't care.
No, takes all the fun out of it. I mean,
She wouldn't care either.
All right, so
They're all walking in the studio with their umbrellas like this, and I'm just walking there and just carrying my umbrella.
It's raining today.
Not even opened. And they're like, what?
That's because water looks good on her.
I have a bad hair day every day, so oh well.
Well, you know, she is one of those that is blessed. Her hair is really curly, beautifully curly, curly.
Nobody
And
believes me, but it is.
all you have to do is mist her with some water, and you'll believe her. And but it's beautiful. I love it.
I know, I like it
Okay,
too.
sis, she's already cranked up the heat, and we're going to just put that tofu right
Here,
in there.
sizzle.
Yes, a nice sizzle. And I'm going to put some blackened seasoning in there, and I brought some extra out too, because I like a lot of that on it. But
And you did hear her right, because when you go into the grocery store or wherever you go for food, there is in the spice aisle, it says right on
Can
the
you spray
jar,
the top of that for
blackening
me?
seasoning.
And we're just going to spray the tops of that, and that kind of helps it to stick to it. I'm going to, now since she sprayed that, I'm going to just add a little more. That's good, sis. So I'm just going to, and so you can use extra. You don't have to use that much. I
stir
gave
it
you
or
a
let it
measured
go?
amount. And then I'm just going to salt to taste, so I'm just going to just put a little salt on it, and that's it. And that can go over there. And then, sis, you're going to just every now and then stir it, and then
Okay.
what I like to do, but you don't have to, I put a measured amount in there for the blackened seasoning, but I like to spray it, and
They're doing a good job.
what are you doing over there?
I'm supervising.
I can see that. She's supervising my peanuts.
You don't leave her alone with a can of peanuts.
You asked me to watch the peanuts. I'm watching
I'm going to
them.
get her busy. Okay, sis, you're going to
I'm supervising.
you're going to make our peanut sauce. So start with, right here, the peanut butter. And-
Oh, good.
Yeah, see? Oh, no, not start with the whole bite full of peanut butter in the bowl, peanut butter in the bowl, peanut butter in the bowl. Yeah, I'll specify this time.
All right.
And while she's putting peanut butter in the bowl, sis, all you're going to do is one peanut for you, one peanut butter in the bowl. I see how that's working. Linda, will you guard the peanuts
good.
for me, please? There we
I'll
go.
guard them.
All right, she's guarding them for me over there. All right, so all of this, sis, just goes in here, and you're going to just use your hand mixer here.
Okay, how am I going to do that? Show me again how to do that.
All right, so
I just want to make sure I got it down.
all right, so all of the
This goes
ingredients.
too?
Yep, all of these go in there, and you're going to just use your hand mixer and mix that around real good. I'm going to take my carrots and put them in this bowl with my lettuce, and these are just julienne carrots, and then I have some diced cucumbers, and I'm just going to toss these together like that. Okay, and here we go.
That actually looks pretty, sis.
Isn't that beautiful?
It really is.
And then you keep blackening that over there. And see, I'll even put more in there. So you guys can do that if you want. Or now be careful, because some of your blackened seasonings, they will have salt in them. And if you do that, you can't be as generous like I was, because it will be so salty you won't be able to eat it. So make sure there's no salt in your seasonings. Oh, she reminded me, I've got an avocado that's going in here. Okay, so for an avocado, I'm just going to cut it in half.
I love the way you cut it so easy.
Well, look, see, I just took a, did you see how I did this? Just took a knife all the way around like that. Then you just twist it, and like that.
It's a
And
beautiful avocado.
I need this diced, so I'm going to dice it like this. I already am going to do my dicing in here, so it just makes it easy. And I'm going to make it in little smaller bite-sized pieces like that. And I'm going to take the head of that out. Then just simply take a spoon and scooch it into your bowl, and it's all diced up ready for you. Isn't that amazing? Look at that.
Pretty neat little trick.
So in this one, I'm going to get the
seed
the
out.
seed out. And I was doing this one day, and it flew clear across the room. Okay, here we go here. And
In Tiny Tots, we showed them how to plant an avocado seed.
Oh,
they
that's
had
good.
so much fun with that.
can I just say, I'm so glad that God called you guys to Tiny Tots, not me. They have a lot more patience. I think they have the hardest job of anybody at 3ABN is Tiny Tots. I kid you not, because those little ones have a mind of their own, and they stop. There's no floor director telling them when to start and stop. They tell you when they're going to stop and start.
I was sharing with my sisters this morning.
The floor director tries to tell them
Yes. The problem of producing the program, I can't have a definite schedule. I can't say, okay, we're gonna tape at 9, 1, 5, and 9. No, or 9, 1, 3, or 9.
You'll tape when those tiny tots are ready to tape. And you might think you're halfway done. Cinda was taping a brand new worship program for us last week, and they were almost done. And the little one says, "I gotta go potty," and they're almost done. They have to cut,
or they'll go, Miss Cinda, and I'll go, oh yes, I'm thinking they're gonna say something about the story our guest is saying, and they go, are we done yet? Can I have my snack? And I'm going,
oh no. All right, let me show you this real quick. Let me show you this real quick. All right, I took about a half a cup out, and this is for a dipping sauce, so that you take a half a cup off of that, and the rest is going to go right into your wrap mixture. And then you're going to take all these. Look how nice and done those are. Did you see that?
Those look beautiful.
Isn't that beautiful? And so then we're going to toss those together just like that. And in fact, I think I'll put them back in that big bowl. It'll be easier to toss. I'm going to toss that up. And then when I'm done, I've got a wrap that I'm going to just put the mixture in here like this, wrap it up. And for this one, I just roll and cut it at an angle. And I've got one right here ready for you to see.
And you can dip
all
it in
ready
sauce
for that
too, if
peanut
you want.
sauce. And the next one we have is Linda. It's your
Hot mix potato wrap.
Woo, what are you doing? She's eating those peanuts. Oh, those peanuts are extra in case you want to sprinkle those in when you're right before you wrap. Just sprinkle some peanuts.
I was helping her out.
Enjoy.
Is it all right if I read
the recipe? Yes.
All right. For the hot mix potato wrap, you will need 1 cup of onions diced fine, a cup of red and yellow peppers, 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, 4 cups of potatoes, cooked or baked. You can have the skins on. 1 cup of Eve's veggie ground, 1/4 cup of green chilies diced, 1/4 cup of sliced black olives, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of seasoned salt, 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, 8 slices of diet cheese, cheddar cheese, and 8 wraps. And for the dipping, you can have salsa and tofutti, better than sour cream. Well, this is another potato one.
Oh, yes.
You can't have enough potato recipes, folks.
It makes a good wrap at breakfast time. My husband likes it. Sometimes he's in a hurry, you know, and it's easy just to, I'll have this made up, and you can just throw it in the wrap, and he can take it if he needs to.
That's good.
So we're going to start out. Did you, spray the pan.
Okay.
I'll put our onions that have been pre-cooked. You can put those in there.
Cooked till clear.
Yes, cooked till clear, and we're going to put our peppers in. You notice the different colors. I try to use a variety of colors in them.
I love that too.
And it makes it pretty.
I don't ever use the green pepper
put a little-
because it bothers my stomach.
Red pepper flakes.
And green pepper bothers a lot of people's stomachs.
Well, if you think you have trouble with peppers in general, try just not having the green ones, because green ones are just ones that are not ripe yet. So that's why they tend to have people have more problems with those.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to put the 4 cups of potatoes in, and basically we want to brown those.
Okay.
And it's okay if the peppers aren't completely done in this wrap, because a little crunch is nice.
Sure.
I like a little crunch.
Yep, I'm good for that.
We're going to put just a little bit of... So basically, now if you want to, if you like your onions really done, do what we did. We had them already sauteed, and they were already done. And so now all we need to do with this one is that we are going to
Heat it up.
heat it up.
Okay. Let's go this way.
And I don't know if I pronounce this right, but it's Daya. Daya cheese.
And that's a vegan.
Yes, it's all vegan, and it melts wonderful. I get it for special treats. And we're going to pretend that that's nice and golden brown.
Okay.
I put the olives in.
Magic
you want to
of
stir
television.
those?
This is nice and golden brown, folks.
And let's see.
You know what I like to do is I really do like this recipe.
then it can
and
just kinda-
I like to make it ahead
I
of
need
time.
that one.
Like I'll come down Sabbath morning and make it ahead of time, and then I make these up and wrap them and keep them in the oven. And that way, when we're getting, if anybody, if you have teenagers and they kind of roll out of bed late and get dressed slow, you can hand them one and they can get in the car and you can still be on time for church.
And have a nutritious
And
breakfast.
they can have a nutritious breakfast.
Well,
So, I do that.
you don't need, for the wrap, you do not need to put the salsa in it if you don't want salsa, if you don't want the red pepper flakes. But if you like it, I put a little salsa down on the wrap first. And then I take some
So this.
potatoes.
Whoops.
And
You
we're
want
going
them
to put it like
preferably
that on the side.
preferably in the wrap?
Yes.
Not on the
Okay,
side.
that's good.
That's a big wrap there.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to take some of this Daya cheese. I happen to like this better than even the shredded. I don't know why, it just melts really nice. And so I put that in there. Like that.
You meant Daya, right?
Daya. I keep calling it Daya, but it's not. And so you just kind of go like that.
That's all right.
Thank you.
You know what I struggle with? Yeah, we talked about farro on the program, and I was introducing everybody to this new grain farro. It turns out it's farro. And now I can't hardly call it that because I've been calling it for the wrong thing for so long, you know.
Now you're going to put it in some foil. You wrap it up, and you bake this just until it's hot. And it usually takes about 5-10 minutes. You know, it's real quick if you put it in a hot oven. Have your oven preheated to
Nice
like
and steamy
350, 400 degrees, and you put them in the oven, and they come out like this.
Isn't that beautiful? Just serve it with a little salsa
You're
on the
gonna
side.
love these.
That looks
Or
good.
and also serve it with a little tofutti sour cream.
You can't go wrong with that.
No. Well, you know what? My sisters and I, we have 6 cookbooks out now. And we're going to show you how you can get one or maybe all 6 of them.
If you've enjoyed the recipes you've seen today and would like to purchase your own copy of one of their cookbooks, including their new cookbook, Cooking with Kellogg's, you can write to 3ABN, Post Office Box 220, West Frankfort, Illinois 62896. That's 3ABN, Post Office Box 220, West Frankfort, Illinois 62896. You can call 618-627-4651. That's 618-627-4651. Or, if you'd like to contact the Micheff sisters for speaking appointments or concerts, you can do so at their website at micheffsisters.com. That's MICHEFF sisters.com.
Hello, I'm Jason Bradley, and we love to hear from those of you who take time to write and call us. A viewer in Brooklyn, New York wrote us to say, I've been watching 3ABN for several years now and want to congratulate your entire team as you celebrate your 30th anniversary. I love you all, and may God bless each and every one of you real good as you continue work for Him. May this gospel reach the ends of the earth so Christ can come and take His faithful children home. I hope to be one of them. Here's a letter from a viewer who enjoyed our music special, Hallelujah, We're Home at Last. They wrote, as I listened to the choir and Mr. Larry Goss, I just kept wondering, where would we be today if there were no 3ABN? Where would we be if there hadn't been a group of believers to proclaim this message to a lost and dying world? Where would we be if Jesus hadn't touched so many people to provide the funds to keep 3ABN going and on the air all these years? We simply must do all we can through the blessings the Lord has bestowed on each of us. So many of you tell us that 3ABN has brought you back to the Lord, like this viewer who writes from North Brunswick, New Jersey. I want to thank you for teaching me present truth, she says. I have been a Christian since I was 17, and I'm 74 now, but I was rebaptized last August and joined the Seventh-day Adventist Church. I've been watching 3ABN since we got cable in 2008, and I thank John Stanton and John Lomacang on house calls for answering my questions using the Bible. I also want to thank Doug Batchelor for explaining to me what happens when we die, just as I was asking that question while going through a bout of breast cancer. Thank you for being there for me. And finally, this letter that says, I left the church at an early age, but was rebaptized from watching 3ABN. We pray for you each morning and evening because you are truly like family to us. We can't always get to church, but thank God we have 3ABN. This is truly God's station. I want to thank all of you who pray for this ministry and support financially each month. And if the Holy Spirit impresses, please send your tax-deductible gifts to 3ABN, Post Office Box 220, West Frankfort, Illinois, 62896. Thank you for your love and support, and may God bless you all during this new year.
Well, we hope we've inspired you to have your own wrap party.
That's right. We really had a good time today, and we hope we've inspired you to try some of these recipes. And
You know, you could invite your friends over. You could each give each one a recipe and have each one make one and bring it, and you could set up a buffet. And
right.
you could
That's
have
an
the
awesome
tortillas.
idea.
They could fill their own tortillas. They could fill their own lettuce
everybody
wraps.
make their own wraps.
Everybody make their own. Have a wrap party.
And the fun would be for you to already print off the different recipes and pass one out to each person. Says bring this to the party, or maybe a church social. What do you think, sis? You know?
A church
Or
social.
and some people may have their own recipes they can put in a wrap, and then you can ask them to bring the recipe to share it.
Hey, I've had a peanut butter and dill pickle wrap that's awesome.
Now I kind of like that.
I do too.
I have so many people are surprised when I say that because I really am serious.
Me too.
Yeah,
we're not
we all
teasing.
are.
That's what Mom made us when we were little.
In our lunches at school, that was one of my favorite lunches was peanut butter and dill pickle. So there's lots of ideas.
Well, you can get so creative with wraps, and you can even get creative with the wrap.
That's right. We today had some whole wheat wraps, but there's spinach wraps and there's
Tomato wraps.
sun-dried tomato wraps, and there's all different kinds of textures of wraps as well.
I've
Right,
seen
you
Italian wraps.
Italian wraps, you can use Indian naan. You can you can use different types of breads and roll them thin and
Corn tortillas
and roll them up
even.
and wrap them up. Oh yeah, I like the corn tortilla ones too. So
And the lettuce wraps like Cinda did. That was amazing, sis. I
that's
love
right.
that.
Well, let's take a look at what we did prepare for you.
That's right.
And help inspire
Whet your
you.
appetites one
That's
more
right.
time. Starting off with, that's Linda's, what is that? Linda?
Hot Mex potato.
That's right. And the little salsa on the side.
Oh, and my Latin bean wraps.
Oh, that looks good.
And the samosa wraps.
And then we have the, is that our, oh yes, that's our Moroccan eggplant wrap.
Mmm.
And,
the Thai.
And then the Thai wrap, yes.
Oh, those good peanuts.
Oh yeah.
And then we have spicy sloppy Joe.
Those are all, I can tell you, I've tasted every one of them, and I think you're really going to love them. You're going to want to try them yourself.
But that's all the time we have for
Already?
now, so it's a wrap. May all your meals be seasoned with God's love.
Bye-bye, everybody.